What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a classic review and welcome to the first review of 12 Days of Christmas. Over the next 12 days, I will be reviewing 12 of my favorite Christmas movies of all time in no particular order. 4 or 5 of those films will be normal full-length reviews on the channel, and then the rest of the reviews will be on my reels if you want to check those out. And of course, the first one we got to dive into is It's a Wonderful Life, one of the most famous Christmas movies of all time and one of the most popular films of all time. Let's dive in. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Movie Dive. Today we're going to be diving into 1946, It's a Wonderful Life on 12 Days of Christmas. And this is the first classic review we're going to get into. Before we do, please do not forget to subscribe to the Movie Dive. I'll be giving away a free $50 gift card to 1 out of every 100 subscribers. Comment down below for a higher chance of winning. So a big secret here that is now going to be let out is I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life, and I just finally saw it for the first time in these last few weeks. I know it's terrible of me to say that. I do see that it is the best reviewed Christmas movie of all time. A lot of people consider it one of their favorite movies of all time in general. Now, the question I would have is, did it age well because it is the first time I am seeing it, and did it have themes that resonated with today? Now, of course, the first thing I would say we got going for it is it's in 1946, and a lot of the themes that they throw in this movie are pretty amazing to see about 80 years later. And when people saw this back in the day, they must have been pretty awe seeing that on the big screen for the first time, as those themes and storylines I don't think have been really done yet to that point in time. Of course, James Stewart was in this film. He's known as one of the best actors of all time. He was one of the first heartthrob male actors back in the day to exist. He plays a character named George Bailey. It kind of goes through his life as he finds a girl, gets married, has kids, and finds the real happiness in life, of course, towards the end. Now, for me, this will be the first hiccup of the movie when I talked about it maybe not aging well, because, of course, back in the 1940s, I don't think they had the aging effects or the makeup as they do nowadays, even though nowadays films sometimes look pretty bad in that department. As I didn't know the story to this, and I didn't know that he was actually supposed to be growing older at the time, so when he was playing a younger teenager in the film, I was like, oh, that man is definitely in his early 40s. But once you kind of know that, of course, they couldn't do anything about it back then, you kind of start to forget about that aspect. So there's a lot of buildup in this movie before we get to the third act, where it kind of goes into the Christmas Carol realm, where he starts seeing his life as if he never existed, because that's a wish that happens. So I'm going to be completely honest. I'd say for the first half of this movie, I understood why a lot of people liked it. But at the same time, I was thinking to myself, yeah, I mean, this is just a classic tale of another guy back then who's actually has a pretty amazing life, and we're supposed to feel bad for him at certain points. However, I do think the movie picked up really well towards the end. The themes that the movie was going for are displayed pretty well in this movie. Now, there's a lot of films that, of course, have taken this theme and ran with it in the many movies that have come out in history and have probably done a better job at it. However, this being the original, I see why so many people hold it to a high regard. And it is a good movie to watch around the Christmas season, because It's a Wonderful Life, of course, is talking about the happiness you find with your loved ones and how to love what you have rather than go chasing after something else when you have a perfect life at home. So again, one of the disadvantages of seeing It's a Wonderful Life so long in the future, of course, I couldn't see this back in the 1940s, is a lot of the themes in this movie have been beaten over my head in my lifetime with a lot of stuff I have watched. I know that when this movie did come out, probably something quite groundbreaking, and people were pretty blown away by it. I mean, again, still today, people watch this movie all the time and consider it one of their favorites. So although I didn't feel the full effects of this movie, I know I don't have a soul, I do see why many people did, and I do find it very impressive that they were able to get such a good script, storytelling, and amazing filmmaking when they didn't have the technology they do nowadays. Back to James Stewart, I mean, of course, this guy has great charisma in this film, as he always does in all his movies. It's hard for me, though, not to watch it and not laugh at his constant 1940s talk.
Come on, Scotty. Hey, buddy, old pally.
It's hard not to watch that and not laugh, but, you know, it's a product of the times. So in the end, It's a Wonderful Life, good classic Christmas movie to watch. I totally see why people watch it all the time, especially during Christmas season, because it definitely brings you back to the values of what's important in life. Again, for me, it's not going to be one of my favorites of all time, but I do see why so many people love it. I'm gonna go ahead and give It's a Wonderful Life a 65 out of 100. Pretty solid score there. I will probably see it again sometime in the future, or I'll check it out if it's on TV. There's a lot of quotes I recognize when I was watching this film as well. You guys let me know, is It's a Wonderful Life one of your favorite Christmas movies of all time? Is it your favorite Christmas movie of all time? Let me know in the comments, and we'll see you next time on The Movie Dive.